Hi, and welcome to Great.com Talks with the World Cleanup Day.org. And if you're new to our podcast, the purpose of this and why we do this is to introduce you to exciting charities organizations. And we want to explain what they do in a way that is easy to understand, even if you might not be familiar with their cause and the challenges that they are facing. And today, we are here with worldcleanupday.org. And I think the organization's name says a lot about what they do, and I'm sure we're going to hear a lot more details. But something I found interesting on their website is that on the 21st of September in 2019, they united more than 20 million people in 180 countries. 20 million people to come together and rid the world of trash. And I'm sure we're going to hear more about that. And today I'm here with Heidi Solba. Heidi, how are you today?
Hello. Thank you
Hi.
for having me here. I'm excited to have and be in this podcast. Thank you for inviting.
It's a pleasure. I'm very excited as well. So if you were to explain your organization more in depth to someone that is not familiar with the cause, how would you describe yourself?
Yes, you just mentioned the World Cleanup Day. The World Cleanup Day is the biggest campaign done by Let's Do It World network countries. And you just mentioned the name. Yes, we have 180 countries who are leading the World Cleanup Day. And it's a civic movement, started 2008 from Estonia, and now it's grown so fast, so big. And apparently their waste and their environmental topics are really important for the people. And therefore, we do have and leading this kind of huge network of doers with really big hearts. It means that this organization does have a movement and working and active teams with leaders, basically in each 180 countries, and working for the World Cleanup Day. But not just that, we're also doing different kind of other projects.
It warms my heart to hear about this project because I see this having benefits and ripple effects more than just the fact that trash is being removed from streets, forests, and rivers. I see people that are doers, like you mentioned, coming together, and they can network. They can meet other like-minded people that also care about the environment. I see so many ripple effects of the work that you do. So, is there something that you think the average European or American citizen don't know about the cause and about the problems with trash that you see that you would like for them to know?
Yes, then we have to talk about the trash blindness. There are many countries who are living in the trash and the waste is surrounding them. It's like becoming a new normality. And you don't know or recognize or not thinking enough what kind of harm it's causing for their humans' health and environment in bigger and longer perspective. Or in trash blindness, if you actually also are consuming a lot, and there are different kind of countries who are cleaning up really too much or have very good kind of systems to cleaning up the waste from the streets, and you cannot see the waste around you. So as an organization, we are calling it like a trash blindness, and what we are doing is to working against it and to raising through this kind of campaign, which is a World Cleanup Day, their understanding what is a waste situation in the world and how much actually each person in the world can influence to change the situation in our planet. Through this movement, I think, which is really important also to people to know, is we are engaging not just communities or students or teachers, but also the governments and different kind of corporations. And it's really important because the waste problem itself is really complex. It's a question about how we are producing and packaging, but also how we're managing the waste later on. So it means that for their waste, or environmental questions, we do have a multiple different kind of stakeholders who are supposed to work on it. And the World Cleanup Day, like any kind of another campaign, who is bringing people together from different kind of societies and backgrounds, is creating a great momentum to bring the people together to find the solutions. And we know that if you bring the people together to pick up the waste, then the behavior of the people will be changing. It's something what we have been studying for the survey, but also it's my personal experience. In 2008, when we had the first cleanup in Estonia, when we just worked with our country and we engaged 5% of our country population, and actually we changed Estonia forever because of that big work. It changed me as well, and I saw the impact that I'm not just littering myself, of course, and obviously, but I also prevent other people to doing it. And we also made a study 2018 to see how their countries will be changing before the World Cleanup Day and after the World Cleanup Day. And we picked up 3 countries to the study. One was South Africa, then we have France, and also Indonesia. And in this first World Cleanup Day in 2018, we saw that the impact is created only in those countries when we engage 2.5% of their country population, what we actually did in Indonesia. So I've engaged 7.67 million people in Indonesia, and we saw that there is impact about the awareness and behavior of the people. This is what the survey showed us before the World Cleanup Day and after the World Cleanup Day. Therefore, it's really needed that we engage as much as people as possible, and through the media, through different kind of stakeholders, we can change the situation with the waste that's surrounding us in daily basis. And always there is a question what people can do by themselves, of course. And yeah, you can segregate. First thing what you have to segregate is the bio-waste, because we are saying that here in Let's Do It Well that the waste is wasted only when it's wasted. So the first thing is just take out all this biodegradable and bio-waste and make a compost, make your gardening. Right now, in these times when you have coronavirus around the world, you can stay at home and also take the seeds and make the plants. You can do it. If you also go to the blogging, you have to go to yourself alone, as this currently this situation is not allowing to go all people together. You can pick up the waste while you are blogging or going just to the walk. And please not try to use a single use plastic, of course, and if you go to the markets, use your own bags, and this is what you can do. Also reuse as much as possible. It's all could be done as a person. And if you can see someone littering, just go politely to the people and say, please don't do it. Here are the pins, and you can help them.
You dropped your thing.
Yeah, drop your thing.
So what I'm hearing you say is that a big purpose of this World Cleanup Day is not only to get the trash out in itself, is to cure people of their trash blindness. And for that to happen, they need to open their eyes and see that, oh, it's not only me picking up trash, people around me are picking up trash. And for that to happen, there needs to be a threshold of 2.5%. And then there starts to be a more societal level, not only for individuals, but also for governments.
Yes, and we even are saying that there is really huge possibility then the people actually are changing after that. And we have seen it so many times. And I think this is the main reason why we're doing this World Cleanup Day, not to mention this momentum that it's bringing stakeholders together to think, okay, what would be the next topic, how we actually keep it clean as well. There is not question about the waste itself, but also all the preventional and also how we're managing the waste afterwards. So there are different kind of aspects of the work cleanup day.
Yes. I want to switch direction a little bit now, because I imagine someone listening to this might be excited and say, hey, I want to come to that world cleanup day as soon as the corona crisis is over, of course. So last time you were there, could you paint me a picture? What was the energy there? What was the people like? What is it like on a world cleanup day?
Oh, oh, if you can see my face, it's full smiling
It's
right
super
now.
smiling. It changed. It's totally
It
changed to
is
a big
so,
smile.
because you just have to imagine that it's bring people together to share. You are in connection with the earth. You are in connection with the energies between the people, and you are doing together something really good, and it's visible. You can feel it in your body. You can feel it through the energy. You can feel through this kind of activism, and also a positive energy, how to work further so we could keep it clean as well. So from that is actually born so many great other aspects and other great activities in the communities. And I also do believe, it's my personal belief, of course, that when you're connected with this kind of activity, which is full of positive energy, and you're also connecting with other people, you are connected with the earth, and you're connected with yourself. And I think during these times when people are more like in using this kind of other communication lines, are not so much in connection with themselves and other people, it's also bringing people more together to work in collaboration. And I think it's super beautiful, not to mention all these positive aspects what it's doing to the earth itself.
I get shivers in my body when you speak like that, because it's like you say, you need to feel it in your body that the reason I'm recycling is not because someone told me or because there's a sign at the trash room. It's because I can experience how that will affect people around me that I now care about. And I think this connectedness, I think it's so crucial what you guys do. So I'm curious, if something really good happened for your organization in the next few years, where would you like to see this movement go?
Well, we are joking here that in the few years, maybe few years is too bold to say, but in 5 years, we don't need the work cleanup day anymore, because simply we don't have the waste, and we change the people behaviors. And this is the main aspect and the main reason why we are doing it. But between these 5 years, supposed to be happen many things. So it could be happening that we don't need the work cleanup day anymore. For example, we need to establish and help each other and different kind of organizations and local municipalities and also the governments to find the solutions, and also to work all together in order to prevent and also to manage the waste what we have currently in the world. And this is what we want to do meanwhile as well. If we have established this kind of I don't know, working for the circular economy or zero waste principles, then eventually we don't need the work cleanup day anymore. So this is where we want to go and see. As an organization, it's really interesting because I have been working with this network. I think the 5 years is now ongoing, and it was like 4 years from last year. I started to work with organization by establishing this kind of network, and I know basically each leader in this network and also the background and what's happening. And by seeing these people, I see so much of beautiness of the people, and it's like bringing an energy back and giving you this kind of belief that the change is actually possible in the world. And the energy is something which is attracting the same kind of positive energy. And in this year, in January, we as usually, we have our annual conference, which we hold also in Tallinn in Estonia. And it brought together a majority of our leaders. And it was so amazing 4 days conference with so full of positivism, full of ideas. And also we brought our partners here, even the partners who are not yet partners, they said that they have never been in this kind of conference, which does have so much of engagement and enthusiasm.
Yeah.
So working 5 years, the enthusiasm is still there, and also positivity, but we want to see as organization that there is another aspect and another projects also happening. So imagine that if you are in the World Cleanup Day and you can see the results, and you want to see that this beach what you just cleaned up, or this big forest or rivers what you just the shores of the rivers what you just cleaned up stays also cleaned. So this is most important. So we have a lot of things to do. And also I'm thinking as an organization, when we have so much of great people in this organization, by the way, we have to say that this is what I said, United Nations Environmental Program, but also other movements said that there is no other organization which is environmental organization who does have so big working network. So this working network can do a lot of great things in the world, not just World Cleanup Day, but as it's having a great environmental organizations inside, but also the people who are leading it, also the teams and also the competence, then it can be done. They can do also more great things to the world. So, but yes, currently the World Cleanup Day is something over what we're working, but let's see where we are going in our future, nearest future and longer future as well.
Yes, I'm equally excited about what you're saying about the network potential of this, bring like-minded people together, and I think really good things can always happen. And the word you mentioned before, enthusiasm, is my favorite word. And I think it's so needed when it comes to charity. And I can see how the energy at your events is different from what it might be at other organizations that are very focused on solving a problem with a cause. Because if you can create an experience where people now mentally associate picking up trash and taking care of their waste with a good experience and bringing that together, I think that good association can create lasting change. And that makes me very excited. So we're now coming up towards the end of this podcast. I imagine someone listening might be so excited they can barely sit still, wigging their tail, wanting to take part of the next World Cleanup Day, or just be more mindful of their trash and cure their trash blindness in general. What can they do to help?
Yes, I think the easiest way is to visit our website and look on our website. You can find your country, you can find the contacts, you can register yourself into the cleanup, and you can do a multiple thing. But I think the best way is to contact the leader itself, and all their contacts are in www.worldcleanupday.org. You can find it there, but also there is instructions how to be part of there, or what you could do for the World Cleanup Day. How can you help? And especially I think that different kind of organizations and other movements, young people, every kind of people, communities, try to think that you are working and living in the same world, and the world is just one home for us. The waste doesn't have any borders. It's just flying and floating in the oceans and rivers and air, and it's a big problem nowadays for everyone. So think that how you can help this national leader or this movement in your country, what you could do to help the country leader and team to be more stronger and collaborate with them, and try to think what might be different kind of activities with what you can engage the leader and do the good projects and good things for the environment in your home country, for your nation, and take the contact with us.
Yes. Take contact, go to worldcleanupday.org. And like you said, Heidi, we're all in this together. I thank you so much for being a part of our podcast today.
Thank you for inviting. Thank you for having us.
It's our pleasure. And hey, if you're listening to this and you like this kind of content and you would like to help us out, please press subscribe at your podcast app. That will really help us get into different kinds of top lists, because the top lists are not based on total listeners, because we're a pretty small podcast yet. It's based on the ratio between listeners and subscribers. So that would really help us out to spread a message of more exciting organizations like the World Cleanup Day. And we see you in the next episode.